It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when the little diner on the corner buzzed with the sound of clinking cups and sizzling pans. The place wasn't much to look at: worn leather booths, neon signs flickering, and a jukebox that hadn't worked in years. But for Mia, a young waitress barely 19, it was her whole world. She rushed from table to table with a tired smile, her brown apron stained from hours of spilled coffee and greasy fries. She didn't complain, though. Every shift meant a little more money to keep the lights on at home and buy medicine for her mother, who had been sick for months. That day, she was too busy to notice the men who had just walked in until she heard the sudden silence around her. The regular chatter stopped, and everyone's eyes followed him. He was tall, well-dressed in a tailored navy suit, with silver streaks in his hair and an aura that made him look like he didn't belong in this shabby place. His watch glinted like it cost more than Mia's whole life savings. She had no idea who he was at first, but the customers whispered his name in awe: Daniel Hart, the billionaire philanthropist, a man whose face was always in the news, the one who built skyscrapers and donated to charities like it was nothing. Mia's hands shook as she held her notepad. Men like him didn't sit in diners like this. And yet, there he was, sliding into a booth as if he were just any ordinary customer. He didn't even look up when she approached. "What can I get you, sir?" she asked softly. His voice was calm, almost tired. "Just coffee. Black." Mia nodded quickly and hurried off, but her eyes kept drifting back to him. Something about him seemed off. He looked pale, distracted, as though he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. She brought his coffee, placing it gently on the table. That's when she noticed it, the ring on his finger. It was a simple silver band with a small engraving on the side, almost invisible unless you looked closely. Her heart skipped a beat. That was impossible. She'd seen that exact ring before, every day, on her mother's frail hand when she reached for her medicine or patted Mia's cheek. It wasn't a common design, either. In fact, her mother had always said it was custom-made, a gift from someone long ago. Before she could stop herself, the words slipped out of her mouth. "Sir, my mom has the same ring." Daniel froze, his hand still on the coffee cup. Slowly, he lifted his gaze to hers, and for the first time, their eyes met. His expression shifted from indifference to something sharp, almost pained. "What did you say?" he whispered. "My mom," Mia repeated nervously. "She has the same ring. I've never seen anyone else with one like it." The diner suddenly felt too quiet, as if the world had narrowed down to just the two of them. Daniel's hand trembled. His face went pale, and before Mia could react, he clutched his chest, gasped, and collapsed onto the floor. The room erupted in chaos. People shouted for help, someone called 911, and Mia dropped to her knees beside him. She had no medical training, but she grabbed his hand and pleaded, "Please, hold on. Don't give up." His eyes flickered open for a second, and in that moment, Mia saw fear in the eyes of a man the world thought was untouchable. The paramedics arrived quickly, whisking him away, and Mia stood outside the diner in shock, her apron still damp from spilled coffee. She couldn't get the image of the ring out of her mind. Could it really mean something? Later that night, when she got home to their tiny apartment, she found her mother sitting weakly in bed, the silver ring glinting under the dim light. "Mom," she whispered, her voice trembling, "where did you get that ring?" Her mother's eyes softened, and for the first time, Mia saw a storm of memories behind them. "It was given to me many years ago," she said quietly. "By someone I loved, someone I lost." She looked down at the ring, her hand shaking. His name was Daniel. Mia's heart raced. "Daniel Hart?" she asked breathlessly. Her mother's lips parted in shock. "How do you know that name?" Mia explained everything: the billionaire in the diner, the collapse, the identical ring. Tears filled her mother's eyes. "I never thought I'd hear of him again," she whispered. "We were young, Mia. He loved me once, before life took him away. He gave me this ring as a promise. But then, he left without a word." The truth was overwhelming, but Mia knew she couldn't let it end there. The next few days were a blur. She found herself outside the hospital where Daniel Hart was recovering. She had no idea what she would say, but she felt like fate was pushing her toward something bigger than herself. When she was finally allowed into his room, Daniel looked frail, nothing like the powerful man from the news. His eyes softened when he saw her. "You," he murmured. Mia swallowed hard. My mom. She has your ring. For a long moment, he just stared at her, and then his eyes filled with tears. Her name, he asked hoarsely. Clara, Mia whispered. Daniel closed his eyes, and his body trembled. I never stopped loving her. Circumstances, obligations, they tore us apart. I tried to find her once, but she was gone. And all these years, I thought I lost her forever. Mia's throat tightened. She never forgot you. That day was the beginning of something extraordinary. Daniel demanded to see Clara, and though she was hesitant at first, the reunion between them was nothing short of heartbreaking. Two souls who had been torn apart by time and circumstance were brought together again by a simple silver ring, and by a daughter who had unknowingly carried their love forward.